I was hard stuck gold for 4 years. Welcome to day 2 of me trying to make a video every day. Today I got a topic I want to talk about. I'm super excited. I want to talk about how you can coach yourself in League of Legends and how you can like break plateaus. Because I know that's like a pretty common thing about people who are like playing solo queue and they tend to get stuck. Or they get scared about playing solo queue because they don't know how to improve, whatever it is. So I want to talk to you guys about today. I want to tell you where I started and where I'm at now, and maybe I can just share with you how I did it, and maybe that'll help you, maybe it won't. But basically, so I was hard stuck gold for like 4 years straight. I was ending up like the bottom of gold. If you look at my op.gg, here I'll overlay it on the screen. I was gold 4 for 4 years straight, silver the season before that, and I commit myself to breaking the plateau 4 or 5 months ago, and I started streaming on Twitch, and I was like, I'm just going to play as much as I can. I'm going to do the best I can to get out of gold. I don't want to be gold anymore. So my goal was plat this season, but I ended up going from gold 4 to diamond 3 in 4 to 5 months. And I just want to share with you guys kind of how you break a plateau when you're playing a game like League of Legends and kind of how I did it. So I got my notes over here. The first thing that a lot of people have issues with, especially a lot of hard stuck people, like they don't understand this. The league ranking system, the ELO system, the MMR system, that works very, very well over a large sample size. So it doesn't work in one game. Like you can't play one game, like one placement game, and Riot be like, oh, you're a fucking gold player. Like I know that. I'm just going to put you in gold. Like it doesn't work over one game. But if you play 100 games, which the majority of people do, you are probably very close to your actual skill level. If you play 1,000 games, you are probably dead on your skill level, unless you're on an upswing or a downswing, right? So once you understand that once you play enough games, your rank is accurate, you can start to understand that there are reasons people are in the ranks that they're in. There is a reason you play 100 games and you're still gold 4, or you play 1,000 games. I played a game of flex queue on one of my alt accounts, and I saw somebody with more games than my main. I have like 1,300 games. He had more games than my main, over 1,300 in silver 2. And it's like, well, if you play 1,300 games and you're still in silver 2, there are probably some very specific things that you're doing that keep you stuck there. But that's not it. Your opponents also do those same things. Right? If you're stuck in silver, you're playing against silver opponents and you are silver skill level, right? So the question is, what habits are keeping you in the rank that you're at? Like I don't care if you're bronze or gold or diamond. If your rank isn't moving, there are habits that you're doing that are keeping you there. Right? So you have to think about what are you doing that's not allowing you to gain leads, and what are you doing that's throwing you leads? And when you start just thinking about it and being conscious of the fact that, okay, I've played 1,300 games. I'm Diamond 4 right now. I'm a Diamond 4 player. If I want to get better, I have to learn what these low Diamond players are doing, and I have to learn how I can be better than that, right? I have to do something different or I'm going to be stuck there. Like I can't do the same thing that everybody else in my ELO is doing. There has to be something different, whether it's better micro, macro, there has to be an edge. So a good example of habits that keep people in certain ranks, like an obvious example is higher ELO players tend to have more games played. It makes sense, right? Like the more games you play, the more opportunities you have to learn. So on average, lower ELO players tend to have less games played, right? So if you are like stuck silver and you have like 100 games played and you're like, next season, season 11, I'm getting to gold. Maybe a good start to a good spot to start in is like deciding that you're going to play more games. Like maybe you set aside, you'll play like 2 games a day. You know what I mean? Throughout the course of the season, you'll end up putting on more than 100 games, right? Like that's just how it works. So once you understand that you are your rank for a reason and your opponents are also your rank for a reason, this is something very similar in other like competitive things that are based on MMR. For example, I play table tennis competitively. If I'm rated like 1,800 and I'm playing against somebody else who's rated 1,800, right? There's a reason we're both 1,800. Like a 2,000 level player doesn't lose to an 1,800 level player that often, right? There are reasons a 2000 level player got to their rating. There are reasons a diamond player got to their level, and there are reasons a gold player did not. And so what you have to do is start to think about those reasons and start to think about those habits. And once, even just being conscious of it, even if you don't know where to start, but you're conscious of it and you load into your game and you're like, well, I'm in a silver game, I'm going to see silver things. Or I'm in a diamond 4 game, these are diamond 4 things. What are the habits that got people here? You have to know what got you there. And then you have to know what's keeping you stuck there. What needs to change? What do you need? Where can you get an edge? Where can you get a competitive edge so you can climb again, right? So once you understand that, you can start thinking about specific macro decisions. And I don't think enough people, like a lot of people just play on autopilot, right? I wish more people would play this game and think about the decisions they make, because you made a decision even if you don't think you did. You make so many more decisions than you're conscious of. When you're able to become conscious of the decisions you're making, you can compare them to other decisions you're making, right? I view macro decisions in League of Legends like branching paths, right? Like you can go down the right side of the path or you can go down the left side of the path. You went down one of the sides of the path, right? For you to understand what the right decision is and for you to become a smarter player and for you to grow in your macro, you need to understand, well, I made this decision. I went down this path and it led to this outcome. What if, take yourself back in time, what if you did this decision? What if you went the other way? What happens over here, right? You need to understand that you made a decision and that there were other decisions, and you need to lead those decisions to their logical conclusions, right? Like if you make decision X and Y happens, what happens if you make decision A? Does B happen? Is B better than Y, right? Like it sounds complicated, but it's really not. It's as simple as thinking, was this the best decision? What else could I have done? And would it have been easier or better, right? People don't think that. People think, man, the reason what I did didn't work was because the jungle fucked up and missed smite. But it's like, well, like if you just think about it, maybe if you shoved mid, they would have lost waves and their jungle would have been pulled mid. Your jungle wouldn't have had the opportunity to miss smite. So don't blame your opponent. You probably made the wrong macro decision, right? And yeah, sometimes your teammates lose you games, but over a large sample size, you are the deciding factor. Over 100, 1,000, whatever games, you are the reason you're at where you're at. And once you understand that, you can become the reason that you climb, and you can become the reason why you stay stuck. Like that's how it works. It's nobody else's fault. So we talked about how to improve macro. Improving micro is something, it happens through just playing a lot of games. But if you notice that you're not winning your lane, I like to say you need to win your lane 70 to 80% of the time. You need to win your lane 7 or 8 games out of 10, or you probably don't deserve to climb. And it's fairly easy to start learning micro and the laning phase by just watching the first 5 to 10 minutes of your replays. You don't have to watch a lot. Just the laning phase. You can see where your opponent won, where you lost, right? Or where you won, whatever. And if you are winning your laning phase 7 or 8 times out of 10 and you're still not climbing, that means there are some serious mid-game or late-game macro problems. That's when you start watching your replays and you think about where are you positioning yourself? Is your income high enough? Are you doing the right things? Because if you're winning your lane and you're losing, you're probably not doing the right things. Although sometimes that does happen, like team diffs do happen, but not over a large sample size. Let's see. So that covers most of it, man. That's the biggest mental shift I went through from being literally hard stuck gold 4 for 4 years straight to breaking into diamond in a couple of months is just every single decision you make. Why is it happening? Why did they get the dragon? Why did they get sold? What could you have done? What are you doing? Like, what are you doing in your games, man? You shouldn't just autopilot. You need to go, you need to think, can I win an all-in right now? Do I not win an all-in? What can I do with the wave manipulation? What can I do on the map? Like, what map pressure am I putting on the map right now? When does my champion spike? When does their champion spike? When do those two spikes line up? so like I can win an all in. Like you need to understand these kind of things, and the only way you learn is by you ask, and then you think about these decisions and you lead them to their logical conclusions. So yeah, day two of me just turning on the camera and talking. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful. Go links in the description and stuff. Go watch my live stream. I'm going live right now, which is why I'm trying to get this out the door. So I appreciate y'all stopping by, and hopefully next season you guys are all breaking plateaus. All right, have a good night. Peace.